only just get me flowers.
What do you expect him to do? Get you a goldfish and some strawberries? What's good, YouTube? Today's video is actually from a friend of mine who helped me with my own YouTube channel. He makes great quality content, so go check out his channel, and if you like what you see, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. I will put the original video in the description down below. And before I start this video, don't treat me like one of your side pieces. Hit that like and subscribe button. And if you are new, welcome.
I can't speak or think for other Black women, but I feel like that's what irritates me in my dating life now with Black men. Like when they try to do that whole macho, like tell me what to do thing, like I want you to be a little bit more agreeable. Not necessarily like passive to where I'm dictating everything. But I like it when it's just like, oh, can you do this? And it's like, okay, rather than that's what you're supposed to do. Like that's annoying.
So let me get this straight. You want a man that is agreeable, which makes sense, passive and assertive. What? Those two don't go together. You might as well say you want a horse with a horn on it. Just say you want a unicorn. It's very rare and it might exist.
Things and I encourage women to be as empathetic as they want us to be. Number one, like I said, throughout history, Black masculinity has systemically been challenged, right? And the fact that our community now is a matriarchy, most of our leaders in the home are women.
I am going to say something that most of you might not want to hear, but in my opinion, one of the biggest downfall of the Black community is the matriarchy. Because most of the men are absent in the household for many reasons, right? Which then in return leaves the women as leaders and in charge of the household. And our community is an example of how a matriarchy will never work in any society. And if you don't think that is true or you got offended by that, just name me one community that is doing well and is led by a woman.
So the image that's popular is the woman being in charge, right? But on top of that as well, these traits, these endearing, nice traits that we're talking about we wish men had, women are not selecting for those traits.
That's true.
They're not selecting for those traits sexually. They're not selecting for those traits, as far as a time investment standpoint. But what they tend to do is that dude who's actually a good friend, good dude, good solid person, you got him saved in your phone as the food guy. Because he doesn't give you that spark. And then the dude,
She's smiling because she knows it's true.
that could give a fuck. That's the dude you want to give your attention to. So it's like a catch-22. Like the same guy I referenced before, Dr. Warren Farrell, he said that Lois Lane did not want Clark Kent. She said Clark Kent was too soft, he was too emotional, he was too passive, he was too agreeable. But she was in love with Superman. And when she finally got Superman, she wanted him to be more like Clark Kent.
But why can't there be a balance of both?
What?
Why can't there be a balance?
See, the problem is most women want the man that does not exist. They want the man that is a drug dealer, but also a lawyer. The man who is homeless, but owns 5 different companies. It's like a man saying, you know what? I won't settle down until I find a woman with a fat ass who gets zero attention from men. Does that make sense? No, that's the point. It's very, very rare to the point that it probably doesn't even exist. But that is what most women want. And look, I am not trying to be mean to her or go after her. I am just going after the logic. It's the mindset that is the problem.
Like, why can't there be somebody who's agreeable but like still initiates exciting trips? Who still thinks, and in my current dating world, I was kind of getting aggravated because this is gonna sound bad, but I would hate when I would tell a guy like, oh, I really want flowers, and he would only just get me flowers. What?
What do you expect him to do? Get you a goldfish and some strawberries? Listen, ladies, men are straightforward and logical thinking people. Meaning, if you say you are thirsty, don't expect us to go get you a Popeye's chicken biscuit, because that's not what you said. You said you were thirsty. Now, if you want some Kool-Aid, say you want some Kool-Aid. But stop making life more difficult than it has to be. You asked him to get you some flowers and you're not happy because he got you exactly what you wanted. See, this is exactly why toxic men are winning. Because a toxic guy would have told you, go get your flowers your damn self. Or just give you some dick and leave.
It sounds bad. I know exactly how it sounds. But in my mind and in my thinking, it's like, I don't want to just tell you exactly what to do. I'm not trying to mother you. I would like the flowers. I'm not saying the flowers is what's wrong, but it's, why couldn't you get me flowers and chocolate? Why couldn't you just...
Because you did not ask for chocolate.
Get your mouth to think outside the box rather than just following in my exact footsteps of what I'm telling you that I like.
I don't know what kind of relationships she has been in, but a relationship usually works when you two verbally communicate, tell each other what you like and what you don't like. Imagine her sitting with her boyfriend and thinking to herself, I want some chicken wings, but I don't want to tell him I want some chicken wings. I want him to read my mind and know that I want some chicken wings. And if he doesn't read my mind and get me some chicken wings, I guess he doesn't care about me. How does that make any logical sense? That's the problem. It doesn't.
Because there was this one dude that I dated at one point, and I would have conversations with him, and not saying that I wanted him to do certain things. We'll just be sitting in the car having conversations about God knows what, and I'll mention like, yeah, like it's been a while since I read a book. I really just miss reading books. And the next day, or within the next few weeks, I would get a good book on my table along with some candles or something to just put me in a mood.
So why are you not with him, right? Because he did exactly what you wanted. Actually, he did more than what you wanted.
So if you're a tall man, you're gonna mate faster than if you're a shorter guy.
Right.
Cool. The problem tends to be that the things that women claim to want and the things that they're selecting for are two different things.
That is true. That is very true.
I claim...
She just gave that example with the flowers and then the one with the guy that got her chocolate, which made her happy. But that's not the guy that she is with, is it? We just come to show that they say they want one thing, but they go for something different than what they said they wanted, which makes it more confusing, especially to men, because we think straightforward and more logically.
I want that guy who's attentive and who's gonna fill my desk up with flowers because 3.5 months ago, some random conversation I mentioned it. I claim to want that guy. That guy might look like Steve Urkel, but I don't want Steve Urkel. I want the quarterback of the football team. I want the CEO of this company.
They want everything in one man. So every aspect of one piece, another piece, the next piece, all in one man, which again is almost impossible. It might be possible, but it's very, very rare, which is what most women want.
I want Christian Grey.
I mean, you still have to be attractive.
I understand. I
Of
understand
course.
that, but my point is, and I say this all the time, men love more authentically than women because women are in love with an idea of a man, not a man. Women want the CEO who's running a multi-million-dollar company but has time to remember all my birthdays and is at every single dance recital. And that's two different dudes. It exists, right? But it's ridiculous. And the other thing that women should understand is that dude that exists, what percentage of the population is he?
That's a good question right
I
there.
don't know.
The men that most of them are going for is a very, very small minority of men, which makes it even more competition, but they don't understand that. Almost every single one of them believe that they should have that 1% or 2% man, which is very rare.
Percentage.
But I think it should be bigger. I think that dude is just a dude with range.
No. But
No.
before all that, he has to be heterosexual. He has to be 6 foot tall.
There's a long
he has
list.
To be attractive. He has to be in good shape. And you're selecting. So you have every woman wanting one dude. And
Exactly.
that one dude that 100 women want, each of them want him to be faithful to her. It's narcissistic.
It's very hard to do.
So instead of that, right, instead of going after Superman, why don't you look across from you to the dudes you actually qualify for, who are ready to be everything to you?
When I tell you, a lot of women overlook average men because for some reason, most average women think they are beyond average, which to me makes no sense. But even below average women think that they should have above average men, which is messing up the entire dating market, right? Because again, a very majority of women are going for the very small minority of men.
But you don't want him. You don't want that dude. You want this dude to become that dude.
So then, with that logic, that girl that has all the qualities that a man wants, and different men want her, should she also feel, I guess, open to spreading herself thin, or like between all of them?
Men are not hypergamous. Because you're describing
Hypergamy, but with men. Men are not hypergamous.
No, I'm not saying like necessarily like, oh, she has like 8 figures or whatever, or 6 figures, whatever, however they say it. But I'm saying like,
What, any of those things, any of them, she's a great cook, whatever the case may be. Men are not hypergamous.
so they're just lying thing.
Yes. And that's
Yes.
the truth that a lot of women don't want to wrap their heads around. A friend of mine gave a good analogy. If you're at a Trey Songz concert, and it's a woman at a Trey Songz concert, and there are a bunch of handsome dudes around her, dudes who might even be more handsome than Trey Songz. He said that she does not see any of them. The
That
only
is
man
so
she
true.
sees is Trey Songz.
This right here is
But
facts.
on the flip side, if you're a heterosexual man at a Beyonce concert, you're thinking about how can I maximize and get as many numbers as I can around me.
Right, screw Beyonce. She
My freedom from Beyonce, I want numbers.
trying to get as much numbers as possible.
But a woman is willing to risk her freedom to get to the king.
That was a very good
So
analogy.
my question is,
I will not be reacting to the rest of the video because I don't want my video to be too long. So please go over to his channel and check out the entire video, as well as his channel, which is centered around Black relationships. I'm also going to be reacting more to his content in the future. So I hope you look forward to it. And before I end this video, don't treat me like one of your side piece. Hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button. And until next time, stay blessed.